Remember last month when Thomas Massie was grilling Pam Bondi over the mismanagement of the Epstein files release and how multiple co-conspirators like Les Wexner were accidentally being redacted from specific documents? I know, it seems like distant history since we've been completely overwhelmed with the media storm that has resulted from our unnecessary, unconstitutional war of choice with Iran. But if you can remember, all the way back to last month, Pam Bondi asked Thomas Massie if he ever questioned or pressured Biden's Attorney General Merrick Garland the way he was pressing her. And yeah, actually he did. Check it out.
It's our constitutional duty to do oversight. Now, in that video, that was your answer to a question to me 2 years ago when I said how many agents or assets of the government were present on January 5th and January 6th and agitating in the crowd to go into the Capitol and how many went into the Capitol. Can you answer that now?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Oh, last time, you don't know how many there were or there were none?
I don't know the answer to either of those questions. If there were any, I don't know how many. I don't know whether there are any.
I think you may have just perjured yourself that you don't know that there were any. You want to say that again, that you don't know that there were any?
I have no personal knowledge of this matter. I think what I said the last time.
You've had 2 years to find out. And the day, by the way, that was in reference to Ray Epps. And yesterday you indicted him. Isn't that a wonderful coincidence? On a misdemeanor. Meanwhile, you're sending grandmas to prison. You're putting people away for 20 years for merely filming. Some people weren't even there yet. You've got the guy on video who's saying go into the Capitol. He's directing people to the Capitol before the speech ends. He's at the site of the first breach. You've got all the goods on him, 10 videos, and it's an indictment for a misdemeanor? The American public isn't buying it. I yield the balance of my time to Chairman.
So that was Thomas Massie pressuring Merrick Garland over the January 6th protests, which the Democrats still try to frame as an insurrection. You know, when all the Trump-supporting Second Amendment advocates were going to overthrow the government and left their guns at home, because, yeah, that makes sense. But that's Thomas Massie pushing back on the Biden administration's fake narrative and misrepresentation of the events of January 6th. He was attempting to expose that there were multiple government agents, provocateurs, and agitators that facilitated and orchestrated the events of January 6th. But Pam Bondi wanted to portray Massie as some kind of partisan, a rhino, Republican in name only, as many in the Trump administration have labeled him. Thomas Massie has been principled and consistent in supporting the Constitution and government transparency. The Republicans want to know why he wasn't pushing for the release of the Epstein files during Biden's term, but he was. Massie supported Donald Trump, and one of the things Trump promised was to release the Epstein files. Remember how before the election, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, and the others pushed for the Epstein files transparency? That was one of the main reasons those guys were brought in and given positions in the administration. Then they had the big binder mishap where they put out all that fake, the fake release of the Epstein files. But anyway, we're getting close to the primaries, just under 2 months away, and I encourage everyone living in Thomas Massie's district to support him. I don't live in his district, but he's still my congressman, one of the only ones that I feel actually represents me, and has continued to show that no matter which party is in power, he's going to be on the side of the people and the Constitution. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and comment.